about to start the third Manet panel now, which is a close-up of the face of the woman behind the bar at the Folie Bergère. This presents some particular problems of its own, in that there are these great fields of blended color and this very subtle shading in the nose area around here. Another problem that I've got is that what I'm working from, the illustration that I found on the internet, was only large enough that when I cropped this section from the internet image, it became very pixelated. I don't know if you can see here or not. There's a lot of pixelation going on. So I'll have to bear that in mind as I'm working. Luckily, I have this printout, which contains as large as I could get it, and still on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, and still contain all three of the images. Now this will be valuable, even though it's so small, because I'll have a less pixelated reference to work from. I'm going to start by laying in titanium white in the areas that I think I'm going to work on today. And I think I'm going to work on all of her skin today. And I'll probably leave the hair for another day. I may even leave the eyes for another day, but I want to get all the bulk of this done in today. And because it's such a large area, and all it is shading, blending I mean, it shouldn't be too difficult for me to get this done in an hour or two. Then I'll probably go in and approach the eyes, and then maybe the eyes and hair on the second day. We'll see. So after I lay in that base foundation of titanium white, I'll work with my raw sienna, which when it's blended with white gives a perfectly beautiful Caucasian skin color. I'll then go in with probably the cadmium red medium, because I want it to be warmer and rosier. The cadmium red deep is a little more blue. Cadmium red medium. You can see the difference between the two here. This is the deep, and this is the medium. You can see how one is a little bluer than the other. This, combined with that raw sienna and the white, is going to give me those perfect flesh tones. So I'm beginning to lay in this foundation of titanium white. Now I have mixed in with that a bit of raw sienna, just so I can see where I'm putting my medium on the canvas. The titanium white's basically the same color as the canvas. So this, since I'm going to be adding raw sienna later anyway, I can just go ahead and add it to my mix so I can see where my medium is being applied. Now I have only made very subtle indications in my graphing this up as to where small shadows might appear, and they're very subtle, but I'm still going to leave them blank just so I don't lose their location, and I can very easily blend those in later. Again, I'm following my outline, my cartooned outline from when I graphed it up. I'm laying in the larger areas first, and then I'll go back and lay in around the detail areas. And I'm using this old scenic brush I've been painting with for almost 35 years. It's quite used. It's been raked over the canvas many times, but I love this brush. It's very stiff. It gives me great control over spreading my medium across this coarse canvas ground. I took a lot of paint, mainly because it's the first layer of medium on the surface. Not that the surface is absorbent, it's just it's very textured and it's taking up my medium. Additional laying in of color won't take as much. So I've laid out some more medium on my palette. There's titanium white and that much raw sienna. I'm going to use some thinner to mix that with. I don't want it too thin. One, I want it to cover up the pencil lines. Two, I want to have enough of a base foundation on my panel so that the addition of subsequent color will have some meat to blend into, some thickness. I'm coming up on these smaller areas now, so I'm going to switch to a smaller brush. Another one of my scenic brushes that I've been using for 30 years. Get a good brush, it makes all the difference in the world. It never hurt to spend money on a good brush.